Christie, would you call the roll, please?
Dave Burris.
Present.
Randy Graham.
Here.
J.R. Huddleston.
Here.
Deborah Johnston. Here. Bill Lukens.
Here.
Craig Romey.
Present.
Gary Telkamp.
Here.
Linda Varvel.
Here.
Thank you.
Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As always, council, if you have a conflict of interest item, please let the rest of the council know before you vote. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the October 20th council meeting?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the October 20th council meeting.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. And can I get a motion to approve the bills in between?
Make a motion to approve the bills in between for $150,035.89.
Second.
Linda?
Thank you.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Can I get a motion to approve the current claims?
I make a motion to approve the current claim of $101,000 and $373.74. Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. And can I get a motion to approve the Wells Fargo credit card claims?
I'll make a motion to approve the Wells Fargo credit card claims of $11,621.88.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Communications from the public. Is there anyone that would like to address the council tonight? Come on down, please. Give us your name and address, and we ask that you limit your statement to 5 minutes, please.
Okay. My name is Denise Bertzloff. I live at 102 Valley View Avenue here in Hot Springs.
Denise, would you please spell your last name for me?
Burtzlaff.
Thanks. That's the Z I stopped trying and appreciate it.
Okay. I don't know if this is the proper time to do this, but I am interested in what's on the agenda under the new business, letter C, the approval of traffic access agreement with Tom and Christina Sweat. We're not sure what this is about, but we live right by them, and we believe that their interest is to use the alley in front of our house, which is a 20-foot alley, for commercial access. And we disagree with that. We have a lot of traffic in front of our house now, and it's already designated as a dead-end street. The city has put up the sign as a dead end. We did request Magwater. We've dealt with their construction for months as far as all the dust and the big trucks running things over and breaking off our crabapple tree, things like that. We just are not in agreement that that should be used as a commercial entrance, if that is what is intended on here. That's all. I don't know if this was the right time to bring it up. or if it's already on the agenda for approval.
Yeah, your comments are the perfect time to bring it up ahead of the council voting on that particular item. There are two documents that go with that agenda item speaking to the commercial traffic versus private traffic. So that will be part of the discussion tonight before council makes a decision.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
There's a public packet up there on the table by where you came in. The traffic access agreement is in the packet. And you can review it while you're waiting for that to come up if you'd like. Yep.
Anyone else? All right. We'll go on to our council updates then. Have an update from Daniel. Daniel, I'm not going to butcher your last name. I'll be more respectful than that. But Daniel's with Bros Engineering, and he has a bridge inspection report for us.
Good evening, Daniel Sykos with Bros Engineering. Just an update on your bridge inspection. This year, we only have just the one on Minnetonka Avenue. The other one is a lot newer and just requires a 2-year cycle. So this year, it's just the one. And like everyone knows, it's old, deteriorating, posted 16 and 23 ton. And your next agenda item, I think, is the bids that we received here. So, any questions on the bridge inspection?
Do you know what our timeline is for replacement at this point?
Yes, that goes into the next one.
The next one? Okay.
Yeah. And I can speak on it if you want me to now. Just didn't want to get out of line, I guess. So.
It's up to you.
Why don't we go ahead and wait until it's an agenda item? Speaking to that, you had mentioned a couple things that the Jennings Bridge didn't need a report because it's every 2 years versus every year.
Correct.
So,
Yep.
all right. Anyone else? Thank you, Daniel.
You bet. And there's a copy of this on your
They all got it too. It's in the public packet as well. You want to just hand me one? Thanks.
Next council update is from Fall River Health System. Georgia and Jesse.
So I'm Georgia Holmes, president of the hospital, and Jeremy couldn't be here tonight, so Jesse's our CFO, and he's going to speak to our update.
All right. Just wanted to let everybody know, get this up so that people can hear. We were awarded a grant through South Dakota Housing now for $1.2 million to move forward with our project. Thank you guys for your support through the past. We will be having some next steps coming up. We hope to have Toby Morris. He's the finance that helped put this thing together out of Pierre, come out and visit with you guys, because as you remember, part of this was contingent on us needing a TIF to make that happen. So we'll kind of help y'all and walk you through the steps so we can keep moving this forward. Our next piece is to get a CMAR agreement in place, which is a construction manager at risk. Once we get that, we'll be able to get engineering plans completed, and if we can get through the TIF process, everything according to the grant, we have to have the construction work started out there by April 1st, 26. So we should start to see some stuff moving here finally in the next 90 to 120 days as we start getting these pieces in line. So this literally just happened last week. We found out that we were recipients of that grant. So, you know, many years we've been working on this. You guys have seen me here quite a bit talking about this housing project. So finally getting there.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very good.
Any other questions for Georgia or myself?
Good job.
That turnaround's a lot faster than bridge replacements.
Jesse, I have been trying to understand TIFs. I am probably, I don't know if I'm more confused now than when I started studying. I'll probably go ahead and hold those questions for understanding until you bring your consultant, because.
Sounds good, sounds good.
One of the things that we've learned is how much we don't know.
And you just got to do it sometimes.
And we appreciate your help that you've had with this. Thank you so much.
Because when you read codified law,
Don't start there. Watch YouTube
and then
videos.
I've even contacted Rod Fortin with
DLA.
Department of Legislative Audit, and he kind of helped, and then I listened in on a webinar from the Department of Revenue, I think it was, and it kind of helped, and I've reviewed a TIF from Pier, and it kind of helped, and I've still got some questions for understanding. So bear with me when I bring my laundry list.
That's why we got the professionals to help us walk
And I
through it. That's
appreciate-
been through these all across the state, so.
And I appreciate you bringing that resource, because it's a big decision for you folks, it's a big decision for us, and when we vote, we need to make informed, intelligent decisions, and so I appreciate you giving us the resources to do that.
Sounds good.
We're excited to work with you through this too.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Congratulations, good things come.
Hang on.
Can't leave yet.
Anyone else on the council have any questions for Georgia or Jesse? So along the lines that Bill's talking about, Bill and I have discussed this one, and it has to do with the funding. My understanding in my conversations, leading up to where we're at now, is that if the developer funds the infrastructure, and that's what we're talking about is sewer, water, roads, those kinds of things. If the developer funds those, then the cost is all on the developer, the risk is all on the developer to make it work. My understanding, not a statement. And that all the city would be asked to do then is to defer the taxes on the increase in the property values until the TIF is paid off. When you read through codified law, it kind of disagrees with that there is an obligation that the city may have bonds and those kinds of things. So as you're talking with Toby, I think that will be Bill, and my main question to him is, will the city incur any kind of additional debt, bonds, whatever the right financial terms for that are, or because you folks are funding the cost of the infrastructure, all you would be asking the city to do is defer the taxes. So for Bill and I, that would be the first big question that we would have. And because Toby's done this kind of thing, and you look at all the other communities that have done this, that's my hope of the understanding I have, is that's all council will be asked to do, is defer the taxes until the TIF is paid off. So.
As far as we know, that's it.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. I mean, there's some stuff, if you guys were like a party involved where that bond stuff comes in, but we're taking on, it's all our project. So that's all we're really asking, is to defer that tax increment to get those taxes later on. So Toby will walk you through that.
Yep.
So, and then of course, the thing with the construction manager at risk as part of that agreement is there set guidelines. They've gotten particular on this at the state level because they had a couple projects that weren't that model, and then some of the stuff went sideways a little bit because it didn't meet the specs for the city, because you guys will take over the infrastructure once it's put in. So that's why, to cover all of us, that's why we're doing this. So we're getting somebody that's done a lot of these projects so that we make sure that we're giving, that once it's done, it meets everything that you guys need at the city as well to bring that on. So we're trying to make sure we do this the right way, not cut corners.
All right.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to personnel. Can I get a motion to approve personnel actions A through H?
Make a motion to approve personnel A through H.
Second.
Dave?
Dave, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. On to our new business items. Our new business item A is a discussion only, and it's the next steps for the wastewater treatment plant funding and public notification. We've been discussing this at every council meeting to let you folks know where we're at in the process and to keep the public informed of what's going on. If you've been following the city website, you'll see that the public hearing is set for November 13th, 7 o'clock down here at the Mueller Center. There'll be the city folks. Tracy will be here with us. We'll actually have to have a council meeting. There'll be 2 agenda items on there. So we'll open the hearing. And then we'll ask Tracy to go over the plan that's on the city website that the public has been able to review. And then Mike Saunders and Jim Jones with AE2S will speak in more detail to the plan. And then Jennifer Sietsma with Black Hills Council of Local Government will talk about the funding. We'll give the council an opportunity to ask any questions and then open it up to the public. Ideally, this room will be full. This is huge. Anybody that has a wastewater bill needs to read the 137 pages so they can be informed. They need to attend the public hearing. Ariel has done a good job of putting together a survey that we'll go ahead and make available after the meeting on the 13th. That will ask a number of questions of the public so we can get the public's input back to help council make decisions. So I'm asking the public, if you pay a water bill, you need to read this plan. You need to be informed. Council, you especially, you're going to be the ones who will be asked to vote on whether we make a funding request to the state for the wastewater treatment plant. So you yourselves need to make sure you've read that facility plan. It's dry reading, but it's necessary reading. If you have any questions, we can reach out to Jim Jones with AE2S. Can reach out to Tracy, can reach out to myself. We'll help each other try to understand what's in that. But this is a big decision that will be put in front of you. So I implore you, please read that wastewater treatment plan. Don't count on your neighbor's interpretation of what they've heard or what they've read. You need to know for yourself what's in it and have your own individual questions. We're doing everything we can to be completely open with this, provide all of the information so the public's aware of what's in front of them. Any questions?
Just a statement, if you do read it and you have trouble sleeping, read it before you go to bed. It helps.
All right. On to our next new business item B. Can I get a motion to review and accept the lowest responsible bid for the Minnetonka Avenue Structure Replacement Project?
Make a motion to review and accept the lowest responsible bid for the Minnetonka Avenue Structure Replacement Project, BRO 8024-0023-1, PCN 09H3, contingent upon South Dakota Department of Transportation concurrence from Heavy Construction, Inc. at a cost of $1,399,679.69.
Second.
Discussion. Daniel, if you'd come on back up and just kind of run us through the bid opening.
Yes, you guys received 2 bids for this project. I don't know if you included that in the packet, but
Yep.
the other one was from, excuse me, from Core Construction, and yeah, Heavy was low, and yeah, I agree with them. They've done quite a few bridges around here. I think they'll do a good job for you. I don't have the grant amount in front of me tonight, but we showed it to the council and the mayor there. Your grant's above this, so we do have room. If any CCOs or whatever come in, those will be covered as well, so. And with this grant, you guys pay 20%. It's 80-20 split with the state, so of that bid amount, you guys will pay 20% of that, so.
When are we anticipating the construction?
I'm not sure when the construction will start. We left it open to their schedule, but I would expect sometime early next year. If not, maybe, I don't know if they'll get started this fall. I kind of not sure, but I would say for sure early spring and go through next summer. The completion date is end of November of next year of 26. So.
Dave, Craig, you were at the bid opening. Do you have any questions, comments?
I don't.
No, not, I was surprised that we only got 2 after we had 6 that actually took out. But I'm very happy with the bid that we got. It also helps us with our 20%. So as far as start date, I think a lot of that is contingent on what kind of weather we're going to have and what we're expecting. And as the construction company is where they're at as far as their schedule. So I'm really excited, actually. It would be nice for the first time in quite a few years that we got all our bridges taken care of. So I'm looking forward to this.
I don't want to be a squeaky wheel. I've asked multiple times along what we've gone through so far with planning for this, and now we're apparently at the point where things might get moving, and I still am concerned and would like the railing that's on that bridge to be retained for our historic preservation purposes. It's a simple design if they need to add on to it, or I'm sure it could easily be added on to if they needed a few more feet or whatever, but I would really encourage and really would like that railing to be reutilized.
Sure.
Instead of having a chain link fence like on the one on Jennings.
Yeah, I think right now that's slated for you guys to keep that rail for your own use, and then a new rail will be installed on the bridge.
A new rail, that's not what you meant.
No, I want
She wants it
that
to look
rail
the same
to
on
be
the new
used
one.
on the bridge itself when it's the new bridge.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good thought. Right now, the rail basically matches the one on Jennings Avenue. The sidewalk right now on Minnetonka is stepped up.
Right.
And right now, it's all one surface. So with the current code, we have to meet a certain height for pedestrians. And so that's why we need a new rail on there. So.
Well, then my question would be is could that rail be fixed to where it would meet whatever codes somehow?
Yeah, no, not without completely redoing the whole thing. It's too short, so you'd have to weld an extension onto it and then redo the opening. Because right now the code says you gotta have a certain opening that an object can pass through.
4 inches.
Correct, so, yeah. I mean, if you want to pursue that, you sure could. It'd have to be a CCO and we'd have to visit with the contractor, but the cost, I'm sure, would go way up. So.
Well, I'd like to at least have someone think about it and give it some thought and consideration.
Yeah, that could be a discussion with Tracy and the city to see if that's something you guys want to pursue or not.
Thank you.
You bet.
To me, it would be the cost.
Always. It's always the cost.
We don't want to pay that much more than what we have to, because, the city's going to be putting in new sewer plant and stuff, so.
Some of these designs aren't that difficult. That something could, a couple rails at the bottom, or, I'm sure these people have engineering degrees. They should be able to design something that would be cohesive, is my thought.
But like he said, it'd be probably more costly than what it is so far.
Yeah, I'm sure it's more costly than chain link fence. Because that's what it'll be.
We'll have to see.
best place to start there would be to start with the contractor and the engineer.
Tracy.
Which would be Tracy, and go from that part on. And so it can be a discussion that's brought up. but-
Yeah, I just don't want it thrown out with no discussion.
Yeah, no, I understand.
We can bring it up at the pre-con meeting.
Yep.
First we gotta
Yep.
get through the state's concurrence and get through the agreements.
We got to find out what the actual code and what we would have to do in order to do it.
Daniel, will you need a copy of these minutes, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Once they're typed up, I just need a draft copy.
Okay.
So, yep.
And I don't know if SHPO, the State Historic Preservation Commission, could give us a grant to retrofit it, however, or if, or if that's a pipe dream. Getting a lot of other people involved, but it should be at least discussed.
Anyone else? So to follow up on Deborah's question, as far as can it be done, how it would be done, the cost, am I correct assuming that the design would be Bros, would take a look at what would need to be done, and would there be a cost for Bros to come up with the appropriate design to keep that hand railing and yet meet ADA requirements or whatever the appropriate requirements are? And along with the cost, if Bros did charge for the redesign or upgrade, whatever the right word for it to be, and the contractor gave a cost for the new design, would any of that cost be covered by the bridge improvement grant, or would all of those costs be on the city to retain that railing and meet all safety guidelines?
That'd probably be something to discuss with the state. Sometimes they're willing to participate and sometimes not. Yeah, we could sure ask the question. But to say yes or no, I don't have enough.
Okay, no, that's fair.
Yeah, just to be on the safe side, soon you'd probably have to pick it up yourself. And
Okay.
if they did, be something to look at. So.
So we would certainly need, I think, Bros involved in that discussion. Though the preliminary discussion, is there going to be any additional cost from Bros to begin that conversation?
Yeah, I think so. And like I mentioned earlier, I think it'd be good to get with the contractor after we get through the agreements and everything.
Okay.
Look at it. Because you realize the rail's too short in height and also too short in length. So that same rail goes over top of the retaining wall that goes off to the west. So there'd be, you'd have to come up with something else for that area too.
Okay.
And it turns and goes in each corner as well.
So then the first thing we need to do is get council to hopefully approve this and get it in front of the state, get them to sign off on it, and then have the conversations about what's possible with modifying the railing. Okay. Deborah?
Thanks.
Did that answer your questions?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Thank you. Drive careful going home. On to our next new business item C. Can I get a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the traffic access agreement?
I make a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the traffic access agreement with Thomas and Christine Sweat, landowners, relating to commercial traffic to and from property located at 13006 Fall River Road.
Second?
Discussion? So council, Misty handed out a couple highlighted pages to you. Let's go ahead and go through the first one, the traffic access agreement. When finance put together your packet for tonight, we knew there were going to be some changes to the traffic access agreement. We anticipated there would be, and to the declaration of reservations. but we wanted to get something in your packet for you to review. And there have been some changes, and that's why you got your 2 handouts tonight. So on the traffic access agreement, when you look at what's in your packet, under one purpose, the description of the lot is more detailed in the handout that you got than what was in your packet. So that's the first change there. And then when we go to landowners' obligations, under C, second sentence, when it's talking about long-term tenants, we added, or a short-term tenant, for example, an Airbnb. And then the last one to that particular document is under city obligations. Item E. Ordinances, both the city and landowners are aware that the building is not fully in compliance. That was changed to are aware that structures on the property are not fully in compliance. So, same effect, just structure versus buildings. Structures versus buildings. So it doesn't significantly impact anything in the agreement itself. So why is there a traffic access agreement in place? And Denise was speaking to that, and we also have another gentleman who's watching closely. What decision you make. The property owners, I'll back up a bit. The property that this addresses is in the county, but it's directly adjacent to city property, Valley View Road in particular. And the property owners on Valley View have been concerned about the construction traffic while that particular area has been developed. They're also concerned about commercial traffic on Valley View. Commercial traffic, according to our city ordinances, are not supposed to be accessing city streets. So we recognize that something needed to be done. So we worked with Tom Sweat, the owner of the property, to put language in place that commercial traffic does not access Valley View. The business owners of the businesses or whatever in that on that property itself, the business owner can access their business. Their customers cannot access Valley View. That's the whole intent of the traffic access agreement. And Tom signed that today. Is that correct?
Tom and Christina.
Yeah. Tom, P&Z, our attorneys, and I worked with trying to get some language in here that we felt addressed the property owners' issues going forward, and yet allowing that particular property to function as a commercial business. Did you get a chance to read it, Denise? Please.
Yes.
I did read it here in the binder in back, and yeah, I agree with that. Is there a place online where we can access those documents?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
On the city's website. Have you ever been there before?
Just to read the agenda.
Yep, so the same place where you see the agenda, there's a packet, and it's included in that packet.
Okay.
And the updated version is in there.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Denise? Can you come back for a second? Does this alleviate all of your concerns then? Are you okay now? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
It does,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
I understand it, yeah, long-term or short-term renters. I agree with that.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
So there's a number, just for clarification, there's a number of activities that go on there. So what this does is that whether the commercial traffic is accessing the restaurant or the facilities on the second or third floor, they will access it directly from Highway 385 and not Valley View Drive or Valley View Court, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Does that mean that Mr. Sweat can't drive his commercial vehicles up and down the alley? Being a contractor, so you have to go out on the highway from?
Any commercial traffic is to not access Valley View.
Okay.
One of Tom's concerns was, well, it's my property. As a private citizen, shouldn't I be able to access Valley View? And we agreed that, yes, it's his property, he should be able to do that. It focuses on commercial traffic, and he's well aware of that.
Our code enforcement officer during discussions at planning and zoning did voice that if it was found that this wasn't being utilized properly, that he would have no problem in blocking the entrance to Valley View. So he will enforce these covenants, I guess you'd call them, or
So there is
stipulations.
teeth to go along with
Yeah.
restrictions.
What do you mean blocking Valley View?
He'd put a barricade across that entrance if it's being abused.
Not the one everybody uses, but towards
The one to the property
Okay.
that commercial vehicles aren't supposed to be using. If it becomes a commercial in and out by everybody coming to the facility, it's going to be limited to that, or unlimited, or it will be limited to, or cut off. And Mr. Sweat was made aware of that too during discussions.
Austin? Did I misrepresent anything?
No.
Okay. Anyone else?
The only other question I have is government lot 4 or,
Okay, we'll get into that with the next, I believe.
The plat?
okay.
Yeah, yeah, with the plat. All right, anyone else? Are the private property owners? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion passes.
Good luck.
On to new business, item D. Can I get a motion to approve a plat of Lot 1R and Lot 2 of Sweat subdivision?
Make a motion to approve a plat of Lot 1R and Lot 2 of Sweat subdivision located in the south half government Lot 4 of Section 19 and the north half government Lot 1 of Section 30, T7S, R6E, BHM, Farver County, South Dakota, formerly Lot 1 of Tract Sweat, the remainder of Tract Sweat, Tract Shop, Lot FR11 and Lot FR12, contingent upon the Sweat signing the declaration of reservation and restrictive covenants to run with the land.
Second.
Yeah, period.
Discussion? So this is the second document dealing with this particular property. The declaration of reservations and restrictive covenants for the plat itself is to ensure that what we discussed earlier goes from property owner to property owner, that it isn't just the current property owner. Austin, Councilman Romey has a question on the description. It refers to located in the south one-half government, Lot 4 of Section 19. Craig, your question for Austin, for our attorney?
Yeah, I'm just curious what the government property.
Is this on the declaration or on the?
It's the legal description on the plat prepared by Anderson.
So I'm looking at the plat here, I'm just starting to see the former names on that proposed plat. I think what that is, it's the balance of Lot 1 towards that bottom right corner is what the reference is for the government lot. Again, this is Anderson Engineers that made this, so.
Austin, I think Craig's question, and it was mine too, is government the name of the word government is what's throwing us.
Because this is in the county, and these legal descriptions are different than the ones you're used to seeing in the town now, City of Hot Springs.
I see government lots a lot.
Okay, so that's
So that's not unusual for me to see this, so if
Okay.
that's your question.
So it's basically the mergence of city property, city way of logging it and county?
It's not so, it's just a lot of these older tracts are called government lots, and so I think that's just in the counties, that's more common than you see in municipalities.
And this isn't moving into the city or anything. The reason we have to approve it is because it abuts city property.
Okay.
It's just a name.
Because I had the same question too, basically.
It's just a name, it's not a,
It's not like the federal government owns it, if that's what you're
Okay.
thinking or anything. It's just, a lot of these lots in the county are called government lots in this section, et cetera, et cetera. That's just kind of a name, that's to say.
Oh, thank you.
This is kind
Appreciate
of after the fact, kind of the baby's already been thrown out with the water. But when they were first planning on doing this whole thing, shouldn't we have seen their plan at that point? Because like it says, and there are some non-conforming issues compared to what Hot Springs requires, like, shouldn't they have come to us before they even started digging and building?
I think at the beginning, there was some confusion about extraterritorial jurisdiction. ETJ is what we call it for short, and what the city could exercise at that time. I think there was some, what would you call it there, back and forth about that. And so we clarified, we looked into it and be like, yes, we can enforce in the ETJ. And so I can't speak to the beginning of when the construction started, but if you guys want to discuss more, but I think there was this confusion at the beginning.
But looking forward to other areas that might adjoin and before they start developing.
Yes.
We should, in the future, have those be brought to us. Because like this actual driveway that comes off of 385, it's going between the new house on the right and a greenhouse. And it's just, two cars will not go through there together.
I would encourage the city to exercise an ETJ going forward.
Right.
So, yeah,
So all of that should have been discussed before.
But that street, if it's in the county, the city has nothing to do with that.
But it's on property adjoining the city, so we should have a say, is what I'm saying.
Do we?
With the original plans, if they're gonna be coming to us for their final plat and agreements and accesses to our streets. We should have been in on this from day one. And maybe the greenhouse should have been 10 feet shorter or something, or the other house moved over 15 feet or whatever to accommodate for this road that needed to go through.
They hooked up to city sewer and water. I read the septic tank someplace in the,
They're hooked up to city water,
are they,
not
but
city sewer.
But not sewer.
No. And to answer, hang on, Marshall, to answer Deborah's question directly, Tom Sweat did approach the city as he was beginning to develop this property and was told that because it's in the county, the city didn't have any oversight over it. So he proceeded with what he understood he was able to do. He just got bad information.
Any more questions?
So, yeah, Marshall, if you could come down and give us your name and address, please.
Marshall Bertzlaff, 102 Valley View Avenue. They hooked up to city sewer a week ago, just so you guys know.
Okay.
All right.
They just didn't tell the city.
The water department and sewer department must know because they were out there.
They must.
Thank you.
And I think part of the variance is on where lots and everything. It's like they're way close to one of the city lots. And that lady won't even use her yard anymore because of it.
Yes, and we've raised that issue with our attorneys, and is there anything that the city can do given where those structures are now? No. No. But through P&Z, we're learning, and we're working real hard to make sure this kind of thing doesn't happen again. Any other questions for Austin? Any other questions about the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. On to new business, item E. Can I get a motion to authorize the finance officer to reinvest the maturing U.S. Treasury bond?
I'll make a motion to authorize the finance officer to reinvest maturing U.S. Treasury bond at SD Fit number 21080-103, 621 EPMS-DSR into another U.S. Treasury bond with SD Fit for a 6-month term at 3.63%.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Can I get a motion on new business item F? Approve the following 2026 liquor and retail wine license renewal applications.
I'll make a motion to approve the following 2026 liquor and retail wine license renewal applications. American Legion Post number 71, Big Time Pizza, BW Gas and Convenience Retail LLC doing business as Yesway number 1177, CS Inc. doing business as Winter Circle, Dakota Mart Inc. doing business as Lynn's Dakota Mart, Dolgren Midwest LLC doing business as Dollar General Store number 18181, Family Dollar Stores of South Dakota LLC number 7126, Frog Project LLC doing business as The Space, Hanging J LLC doing business as the Red Rock River Resort, HSP Loft Properties LLC, Jalapenos Grill LLC, Misty River Tavern LLC, Moccasin Springs doing business as the Dragonfly, Sunny's Superfoods, Southern Hills Golf Course, Spur Springs Hotel LLC, doing business as Springs Coffee Kiosk, Springs Restaurant, Stanwell LLC, doing business as Art House, and Whiskey River LLC.
Second.
Discussion? Thank you, Deborah.
You're welcome.
Almost need oxygen after that, huh?
How windy I am.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. New business item G. Can I get a motion to approve and authorize the finance officer to sign the security assessment agreement?
I make a motion to approve and authorize the finance officer to sign the security assessment agreement with Dakota State University to participate in the Project Boundary Fence cybersecurity assessment at no cost to the city. This is a yearly reassessment of the original cybersecurity assessment we participated in previously.
Second.
Discussion? Misty has updated on this, updated his folks on this a couple times. Do you have any new questions for her? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. New business item H. Can I get a motion to accept a donation valued at $11,000 from the Don Gannon Memorial Fund?
I make a motion to accept donation valued at $11,000 from the Dan Gannon Memorial Fund to replace 300 foot of cart path on hole 13 at the Southern Hills Golf Course.
Second.
Discussion? The volunteers have been actively working on this for a couple weeks, so they're making good progress. In fact, they may be done. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. And our last new business, item I. Can I get a motion to approve an automatic budget supplement of $80,094.37 to additional sales tax fund?
Make a motion to approve an automatic budget supplement of $80,094.37 to the additional sales tax fund, airport improvements, 212-21200-45420 for construction of the AWAS 3 project, reimbursement revenue received from AIP grant funding number 3-46-0020-19-2025.
Second.
Discussion?
On the reimbursement we received, was that exact amount, or
Yes.
was it? Okay.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Under our committee reports, Admin and Finance. JR, Gary?
Admin Finance will be meeting next Monday, November 10th at 1 p.m. here at the Mueller Civic Center. All are welcome to attend.
Thank you. Airport Planning Team, Bill?
Airport planning team will meet at a date and location to be determined.
Thank you. Custer Fall River Regional Waste Management, Craig?
Our meeting's the 13th of this month. You guys can join me with about a half hour of the meeting before we have to come over here.
Thank you. Historic Preservation, Deborah?
We will be meeting this coming Wednesday, 5 p.m. here at the Mueller Center.
Thank you. Evans Plunge Advisory, Linda?
The Evans Plunge Advisory will be meeting November 13th at noon at the Evans Plunge.
Thank you. Parks, Recreation, and Beautification, Linda, Randy?
We will be meeting on the 5th of this month, on Wednesday at 1 p.m.
Thank you. Planning and Zoning, Deborah?
Planning and Zoning meets November 19th, 6 p.m. at City Hall.
Thank you. Safety, Bill, JR?
Safety Committee will meet this Thursday, November 6th, 1 p.m. at the Mueller Center Conference Room.
Public Works, Dave, Craig?
Public Works meeting was Tuesday, October 28th at 1 p.m. We started at 1:02. Those in attendance were Mayor Bob Nelson, Deb Johnston, Craig Romey, myself. We also had comments from citizens. Bob Engelbretson was one. Perry Hollis was another. And we started off with old business, talking about update on fire hydrant maintenance. Excuse me. 19 at this time were done as of the 28th. With those been exercised, water flows checked, operational, so it shuts off and can be utilized by fire department. More of those have been done since. Moved on to number 2 on old business was free dump week. And talking about the future, we were reviewing the information of costs that were brought up by code enforcement and looking at putting some more review into those costs and to a plan, but also utilizing a code enforcement cleanup. So I'll get to that here in a few minutes. We also met with Quentin Van Norman, and we discussed his issue with his sewer, and that was dug up as of today. And we're looking at, well, we've got to review what they actually found, and being that happened this afternoon. I know Craig was present there. He was eyes on. I was not. I was out of town. But we will review what information we got from Tracy Bastian and from Sean and Jason from the Sewer and Water Department and see what information they have for us. And we'll get back with Van Norman's. Moving on, new business. We discussed, excuse me, we discussed RVs and campers on the streets. We are getting close to winter time, where our first snow will be coming. So we'd like to get as many of those RVs and trailers off the streets so we can do our plowing. Snow removal is a big issue here in town, and those items that are left in and on the street will become an area where snow will turn to ice and will build up on the streets. So we'd like the public to know that if you haven't moved them yet, please get into the process of getting them stored and put away. Second was the old Armory building. We've had quite a few phone calls about complaints about 2 semi-trucks and trailers, not reefers but flatbeds, with loads on them. And I do believe that we are in concurrence that those trucks do exceed the weight limit going around the park. So we are looking into that and discussing that. Also at the same time, it's been brought up that the old Armory building, when it was sold, was under the agreement that it was not to be used for any commercial or commercial storage use. It is a residential area. So this is also being looked into. Number 3 was manhole covers, the raising and lower of manhole covers. Unfortunately, on some of the streets that we have redone, we do have some of the equipment and supplies to get these things done. So we're looking at what the process and what the timeline will be of getting that done.
What are you doing with the manhole covers?
We are looking to raise the low ones. Some are up to 5 to 8 inches drop, and others are exceeding 2 to 4 inches above ground.
Okay.
South River Street.
Raise them that way.
Number 4, code enforcement cleanup plan and equipment needs. Now this coincides with what we was talking about earlier on free dump week. We are reviewing the costs of what it costs the community to pay for 1 week's worth of cleanup, which would be free dump week as we know it here in town. Now, I hate to throw the numbers out as it stands right now because I have not clarified those and verified them, but we are looking at tens of thousands of dollars. Now, by the time you figure in employees work time, overtime, equipment costs, gas costs, dump fees, and all that goes with that, it can be pretty darn expensive. So we have to start really thinking about whether or not, how many of these free dump weeks are going to have during a year, and what can we do to make the process more reasonable for the community, because everybody's taxes pay for this. We have to make this a little more reasonable for every household to utilize it, but at the same time, not be putting such a burden on the city for paying for all this stuff. So we are looking at possibly getting us a dumpster for code enforcement, but it can also be used at cleanup time with volunteers and a new program that has been started with Habitat with Humanity. Some of the folks that actually, and volunteers can actually work together with cleanup week, also using that dumpster during cleanup week, with also using it during code enforcement. The only person that would have access to this would be Code Enforcement Department. And it would be something that, as we clean up, the way the Habitat for Humanity works, the volunteers come in, help clean up, they utilize that container, and then we can process the cleanup without going overboard and creating such a dumping cost that it gets out of hand. Habitat for Humanity also has what they have just started, and they have actually, the way I understand, for our region or area, $300,000 worth of a grant through Habitat for Humanity to do household services like handyman services for the elderly and those who fall into the process of going through that system. Okay, so we are still reviewing this. I know I brought this up on the last meeting. I just wanted to let you know that we are still looking into that. Those are things that have not been dropped and just stuck to the wayside. We are still going through all the information and putting together a program. With that, that was the end of the meeting. The meeting ended at 3:20, and our next meeting will be at 1 p.m. Tuesday here at the Mueller Center, November the 25th, and everybody is welcome to come.
Greg, anything you want to add?
No, we covered everything.
When's the next meeting?
The 25th of November, 1 p.m.
Any questions for Dave or Craig? Thank you. Southern Hills Golf Course, we won't be having another meeting with them until probably the spring before, or right around when the course is looking to open. Finance Officer report, Misty?
Sorry, I'm making myself a note to get you to some information about dump expenses.
Yeah, because they did give us some numbers, and like I say, I don't want to state them in public because I don't know if they're actually down to the nitty-gritty. I want to be right when I say it.
Awesome. Thank you, Mayor.
And I will be passing along a few things for you, Habitat for Humanity. I'd like to see if you couldn't put together just information that we can always go back to.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I do have the monthly finance officer report, which does not include every day of October, just 29 of the 31. So year-to-date profit and loss, the fund summary report, the cash balance report, and the investment report you should be used to looking at by now. Point out, we have the Business Improvement District is the only fund currently at a loss year-to-date. I am working on the final supplemental appropriation ordinance of the year. The only funds currently over budget in expenditure is the 501 Capital Improvement Fund, and that had to do with all the fundraising that the Christmas in the Hills Light Up Our Town group did to get new lights and decorations for this upcoming season. They did collect all the revenue to cover the expenditures. I just haven't had an opportunity to apply that to the budget. So you'll see that on the second supplemental appropriation ordinance of the year. Otherwise, all the other funds are within their approved budget authority, and you'll notice some even exceeding their revenue projections for the year, which we like to see. Cash balance report by fund has the current cash balance in our Wells Fargo account by fund for every fund we have. And if you ever have any questions about any of those, I'm happy to answer them, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. And then we did just renew the Evans Plunge Mineral Springs Debt Service Reserve Fund Treasury Bond. We have to keep that amount as long as we have the debt outstanding. We did receive notice of the state minimum wage increase. It's going to be 35 cents for 2026, so as we have done in the past, we'll have a motion in December to approve the subsequent increases. We propose equivalent increases, that 35 cents for all positions, and we'll add the increase to each part-time wage earned as well as to the top of step for each full-time position. We budgeted 85 cents for this increase. We have to pass our budget before we know. So we will have sufficient budget in 2026 to cover this. I've completed the annual unclaimed property reporting. We, this year, filed a negative report. I mean, it sounds like nothing, but it takes effort throughout the year to make sure that all the checks we issue get cashed, don't get lost, and we take every effort we can to ensure that if something's outstanding for longer than 90 days, we reach out and try to make sure that those funds get in the hands of the rightful owners, as opposed to sending them to the state as unclaimed property. So a negative report is what we aim for. Another renewal task is our System for Award Management, or SAM registration. I kind of go over what that is because it's not super hard, but it is a very important annual task, and it's not easy. It takes several steps, but it allows us to get government funding. And if it were to expire, to get it renewed is difficult, so it's just a task I want you to be aware of that happens every year that's very important for the city to continue to receive federal funding. I did send 13 ordinance revisions to American Legal to update our online code of ordinances. I list those out. I am awaiting the estimate of the expense for those changes. And I'll let you know for this round of revisions what that'll be as soon as I find out. My hope going forward is to spend more time enforcing our ordinances than rewriting them, but I know we have a couple more that we're looking at rewriting, but I just had to draw a line in the sand and send them off because there's just been so many. Talk a little bit about the end of the year and how important budgetary review and controls are for our last couple months of the year. Department heads have been asked to review their budgets and discuss any potential known shortfalls or necessary additional funding for the rest of the year. I have been working on the second and final supplemental appropriation ordinance for 2025, and we also estimate and budget for our required annual internal water and sewer user charges and subsequent forgiveness with this one. So it's a little bit longer than you're used to seeing. We do that on the second one of the year. I'm also working on the final contingency resolution, and I explained, just a reminder of the differences between those two and the statutes that require us to do these kind of reviews and ensure we don't end the year spending more than we got the public's permission to spend. I also have been working on the citywide fee schedule for 2026. I've requested feedback from departments on recommendations for any necessary updates. If you remember, we did a real big one in 2025. So besides those funds that have standard increases, I'm not sure how many we'll see on this one, but more to come on that. We'd like to have them established by January 1. All rates and fees are set by resolution of the council, and it's city policy to fairly and consistently apply, bill, and collect all established fees and rates in all departments. They can also be found on our city website. If you have any questions, if you want to review them, or suggestions for changes that need to occur, I'm happy to take them. I'd like to get them before we present that 2026 citywide fee schedule. Finally, we've received notification that Governor Roden authorized the closing of state administrative offices for 2 upcoming holidays, Friday, November 25th, which is the day after Thanksgiving, and Wednesday, December 24th, Christmas Eve, and Friday, December 26th, the day after Christmas. Our city follows the state, so I've shared this recent notification with our department heads and you, our governing body, and I personally wanted to say I'm grateful for the additional time provided that allows me to spend more time with my family, and I want to thank our governor and our city leadership for authorizing the additional days off. So thank you. That's all I have.
Any questions for Misty?
Of course, but we don't have to let you guys have all.
No, you don't, so I thank you for doing that.
I have a couple things for you. I received a letter from the Department of Agricultural and Natural Resources. The City of Hot Springs has submitted a request to have its wastewater treatment system and drinking water system improvement projects placed on the 2026 State Water Plan. You had voted to do that a while back. And making a point of mentioning that asking to have the wastewater treatment plant and the water plans put on the state water plan in no way obligates us to expending any money. But if we don't have it on the state water plan, then we can't ask for additional funding if that's where the council wants to go. The state water plan applications will be considered by the Board of Water and Natural Resources at its meeting on November 6th, 2025, held in Pierre. The state staff will recommend placement of your project under the 2026 state water facility plans. I do not anticipate any problems with the placement of your project under the state water facilities plan, and therefore do not believe it is necessary that you attend the meeting. So we've passed the first hurdle of getting it on the state water plan. They've acknowledged that, and they're indicating they're going to go ahead and recommend approval of those. So, and the second thing that I have for you is we've received 2 applications for the city administrator position. And working with Misty, we've scheduled to have those interviews with the department heads on this Thursday at 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. So once we've had those, we'll see whether we're in a position to recommend somebody to replace the vacant city administrator position. So I'll keep you informed as we know. That's all I have for you. Any questions for me? All right, with that, going to get a motion to go into executive session.
Make a motion, we go into executive session in accordance with South Dakota Codified Law 1-25-2-3, legal.
Second.
Did you get Linda?
I did, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. There will be no action taken after executive session.
I read the emails and that's it.
So I've got us back at 7:01-ish. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Have a good evening, everyone.